Okay, here is my Halloween COVID-friendly trick-or-treating witch. I'll try to explain with one hand on the camera and how this works. So there's the witch. She flies from my house here to my neighbor's house across the cul-de-sac, right around where that lamp is. The total flying distance is about 100 to 125 feet. Let's see if we can get her in action here. Here's the controller that I built. This is just the switches for the controller. I'll show you the control mechanism and everything later. And so we'll flip it over. We want to go over to Tony's house, so we'll flip that direction. And this is the kill switch, and here's the speed control. So I'm going to turn it up, and then I'll put the camera on the witch and let you see her fly. Okay, before she hits the other side, slow her down there, and then go ahead and return her to the house. Unfortunately, I couldn't get her to turn around. But there's always next year. Okay, let's go check out the drive mechanism. So, did something new this year. This year I built it off of a treadmill motor. And here's the setup. Here's the treadmill motor. Here's the dead treadmill in the background. And it connects up to a pulley to slow it down, although it does have a lot of speed control on it. I wanted to get even more control, so I put it on a bigger pulley here. And then these two reels, one lets it out and one takes it up to control the witch. She's flying on a zip line mechanism, so there's a fixed cable that she rolls on, and then this yellow line is the drive line, and it is a Kevlar, braided Kevlar line, 150-pound test. Mainly I wanted it for its low stretch property, because with 400 feet of line played out, there's quite a bit of stretch, even with other lines that look pretty good. So basically the controller is a motor controller from the treadmill, adapted to include a double pole, double throw switch that allows me to change the direction from my house to my neighbor Tony's house. And this is the kill switch to kill power. And this is the speed control. So the important thing about the kill switch was that treadmill motors are designed to slowly ramp up and slowly ramp down. And so if I was about to hit something, say my house or the light pole on the other side of the street, I needed to be able to shut it off immediately rather than have the slow ramp down that treadmills normally have. So anyway, I put in a double pull, double throw switch to be able to go back and forth. I took out the sliding potentiometer and put in a rotary one, so I'd have a little bit more control here. And then I took all of those wires that made up those controls and hooked them up to short lines that go to extension cord jacks, the female side of extension cords on that side. And then on my remote control box, I wired in the male sides of extension cords here, so that then I can just put in any size extension cord I want and be able to take the control panel out into the middle of the cul-de-sac. So I'll go ahead and give it a whirl. flip it back over to Tony's house, turn it on, and back up a bit. And so what you're seeing there is the tensioners flying. There's a lot of play in the line, and so I've got 2 tensioners in place to make sure that this always stays firmly on the reel and doesn't ball up when it gets too loose. And then the last thing I'll show you is I'll bring her back and I will show you the special feature this year, the ball drop. Okay, so this year, because of COVID, I added a special feature to her, and that is to have it remote control drop treats. So like this, there's her hand with the wand on it, and the idea is that she is spitting out, shooting out treats from her wand. So I'm going to hit a remote, and out drops the treat. And in this case, it is a glow-in-the-dark eyeball bouncy ball. And I will have to stop and do a separate video for that. But basically, there is a, in the witch, there's a bucket full of gumballs, or full of these eyeballs. And it has a gumball machine kind of mechanism in it and a wiper motor. And so, and I have it hooked up to a remote control to control programs on the wiper motor. So I programmed it to spin around once and then park. So it loads up the ball and then drops it out through the bottom of the bucket, and it goes through a tube. And that tube is in her sleeve. And so then it just rolls out the bottom of her sleeve. So that is Mike's Witch for 2020, the year of COVID, and I'll try to post some other details later.